And welcome back to Sports Line Radio. My name is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato. I'm coming at you live from Las Vegas, Nevada, the sports gaming capital of the United States of America. And you're listening to this program right here on 910 AM WUBR CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the home of the LSU Tigers. Don't forget, you can always listen live to Sports Line Radio over your computer on the internet at www.wubr910.com, www.wubr910.com. And, of course, you can always listen live to Sports Line Radio or Pelican Sports Radio or any of the programs here on 910 AM WUBR CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge, right on the TuneIn app. Just download the TuneIn app to your smartphone, your iPhone, and you can listen to the MeatMan every Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., doing Sports Line Radio. And we're going to be talking a lot of horses in the coming weeks and months. Obviously, football season has sadly come to an end, but horse racing season is here. Now, in the coming months, we're going to be talking a lot about the Triple Crown, the 3-year-old prep races leading up to the Kentucky Derby. But today, we're going to talk about the Pegasus Cup. And the Pegasus Cup is a race that they put together for all of the older horses, 4 years old and up. It's $1 million entry fee. It costs $1 million to get your horse listed for the race. They got 12 horses in the field, and the purse is $9 million. Let's see if the MeatMan can't start the 2019 horse racing season with the winner on Saturday at Gulfstream Park. We got 12 horses going to the post. They're going 1 mile and an eighth. Post time is 5:36 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:36 p.m. Central Time, 2:36 p.m. Pacific Time out here in Las Vegas. It's race number 12 at Gulfstream Park. The one horse is Bravazzo. Wayne Lucas is the trainer. Luis Saez is the jockey. Not a bad horse. He's won $1.3 million in his career. Bravazzo ran in all of the Triple Crown races last year. And that's something. That's something because a lot of times these horses will run in the first leg of the Triple Crown, and they won't run in the second leg, and maybe they'll run in the third leg. But the Bravazzo, he ran in the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont. And he ran in the Haskell, he ran in the Travers. So this is a nice horse right here. Bravazzo's a nice horse, but he's in tough company today. He's in a tough spot on Saturday. Bravazzo only has 2 races where he got 100-plus buyer figures, and it was his last 2. Got 100 buyer figure in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, a Grade 1, and in the Clark Handicap. He's got 102 buyer figure. The thing I don't like about Bravazzo, he's 4 times going 1 mile and an eighth distance, no wins, 2 seconds, and no thirds. This horse doesn't like going 1 mile and an eighth. That's not his distance. 12 to 1 on the morning line. Ow! know we're going to pass. The number 2 is Something Awesome. Jose Corrales, the trainer, Edgar Prado, the jockey, 20-1 on the morning line. This horse is just outclassed here. This horse has been running at Charlestown, Laurel, Pimlico. I don't see Something Awesome winning this race. Something Awesome's 8 years old. The gelding. 26 career races, 9 wins, 3 seconds, 6 thirds. Has over $1 million in winnings. Is 2 for 2 at the distance. Raced 2 times at Gulfstream Park. No wins, no seconds, and 2 thirds. I will be passing on Something Awesome. The 3 horse is one of the favorites, City of Light. Michael McCarthy's the trainer. J.J. Castellano is the jockey. This horse is coming off of a win in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. Went wire to wire, broke from the 9-hole, broke first. Had a half-length lead and a length lead and a 2-length lead and a 3-length lead. Winds up winning a race by 2 3/4 lengths. 5-2 on the morning line, second choice. It's going to be a tough horse. Had 110 buyer figure last time out. So City of Light is going to be tough. But City of Light needs the front. And I don't know if City of Light's going to get to the front. And then if he does get to the front, the question is will he be contested up there? The 4 horse is Seeking the Soul. 12-1 on the morning line. J.R. Velasquez, the jockey. Dallas Stewart, the trainer. Got $1.7 million in earnings. 8 tries at the distance, 2 wins, no seconds, and 4 thirds. Oh man, this horse just isn't a good fit for this race. And the trainer, when he puts a horse on the track after a 2 to 6-month layoff, he's 0 for 25. Nah. The 5 horse is Accelerate. John Sadler's the trainer. Joel Rosario, the jockey. This is a nice looking horse right here. This horse has won 4 straight races. The Breeders' Cup Classic. Won the Awesome again, the Pacific Classic, the Gold Cup, all Grade 1 races. The last time Accelerate lost a horse race was the City of Light in the Oak Lawn Handicap. And Accelerate really didn't have any excuses. City of Light just beat him. City of Light just went out there and beat him. And he didn't even go to the front to beat him. City of Light came off the pace to win that race. That's why City of Light's a dangerous horse. Because Accelerate, he's coming off the pace. City of Light, the 3, he can run any kind of way he wants. 9-5 on the morning line. Accelerate is the favorite. The 5 horse is the favorite to win the Pegasus World Cup on Saturday. This is going to be Accelerate's last race. Accelerate and City of Light are both going to retire, or are both scheduled to retire after this race here. Accelerate, $5.7 million in earnings. 10 races, 10 wins in 22 starts, 5 seconds, 5 thirds, and last year, 2018, 7 races, 1/6. That 1 second was the City of Light in the Oak Lawn Handicap, and this horse won over $5 million, and the buyer figures 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight races with a triple-digit buyer figure. This Accelerate's going to be tough. The 6-horse Tom's Dietat. Albert Stahl, the trainer. Sean Bridgebaham, the jockey. 20 to 1 on the morning line. This horse could be 2 million to 1. I wouldn't bet the 6. No graded stakes race wins. None. Not even a grade 3. Took 3 times to break maiden. 3 cracks to win an optional claiming race. Non-winners of 2. This ain't a bad horse, just in a bad spot. Is 2 for 2 at a distance, but only $278,000 in career earnings. This horse is outclassed. The 7 is True Timber with Karen McLaughlin, the trainer. Jose Bravo, Joe Bravo, in the saddle. 30 to 1 on the morning line. Has never won a graded stakes race. Back in 2017, ran in a grade 3, no good, was 5th. Earlier this year, or last year, ran in a couple of graded races, finished 2nd in both of them. One time went up at 31 to 1. The trainer and the jockey and the owner didn't even bet on the horse. $550,000 in career earnings. I couldn't bet True Timber with your money. The 8-horse is Gunavera. Irad Ortiz, the jockey. Antonio Santo, the trainer. 8 to 1 on the morning line. This horse loves running at Gulfstream Park. 9 career races at Gulfstream Park. 4 wins, 2 seconds, 2 thirds. Almost $2 million in earnings. This horse, 6 wins, 5 seconds, 2 thirds, and 19 career starts. $4 million in winnings. He ran 2nd in the Breeders' Cup Classic at Churchill Downs back in November last year, 2018. It's a nice-looking horse, but not nice enough to win this race. The 9-horse is Kukulkan from Mexico. Trump ought to have the horse deported with Fausto Gutierrez, the trainer. The Tory's the jockey. You got to watch out for this guy. You got to watch out for this guy. This guy's dangerous, this jockey right here. But, man, I tell you, this horse here, 14 for 14. This horse has never lost. This horse has never lost. 14 for 14. He was 13 for 13 running in Mexico. They bring him to the USA, run him at Gulfstream Park in a restricted stakes race. He wins by 10 lengths at 30 cents on a dollar, 4 for 4 at the distance, 1 for 1 at Gulfstream Park, 14 for 14 overall. Wow. I'm not going to bet this horse, but I'm definitely going to be watching him. The 10 is Audible. Todd Pletcher, the trainer. You got Pratt is the jockey. The problem with Audible is Audible just turned 4 years old. Audible won the Florida Derby last year as a 3-year-old by 3 lengths. He goes to run in the Kentucky Derby. He goes up at 7-1. He runs third there behind Justify and Good Magic. 10-1 on the morning line. This horse, 5 wins, a second, 2/3, and 8 career starts. This horse has never missed hitting the board. 1 for 1 at the distance, but man, the buyer figures just aren't there. The buyer speed figures. Never a buyer speed figure in the hundreds. No buyer speed figures in the hundreds. Man, that's a tough sell for the MeatMan. You're facing some of the best horses in the world, and you can't run a race with 100 buyer speed figure. That's not good. The 11 horse is Imperative. Anthony Quattalaro, the trainer. Gaffleone, the jockey, 20-1 on the morning line. This horse has almost $3 million in earnings. The problem is last year, Imperative, the 11 horse, he raced 6 times. No wins, no seconds, 1/3. The horse made $23,000. I don't know what happened to this horse, the 11, last year, but man, I tell you, I couldn't bet the 11. If you gave me free money and said, go bet the 11, I wouldn't take 2 steps toward the window. This horse made a lot of money, though. There's no doubt about it. I would have liked to have owned this horse. But the way this horse ran last year, you gotta take a pass. The 12 horse is Pattern Recognition. 10-1 on the morning line. Chad Brown, the trainer. Jose Ortiz, the jockey. This is a nice looking horse here. The 6-year-old. 10-1 on the morning line. This horse has won 3 straight with an improving buyer figure each time. Got 100 buyer figure, 102 buyer figure, and 105 buyer speed figure. But this horse, I don't know if this horse is going to like the distance. This horse has never gone 1 1/8. And the only race this horse is showing where it went over 1 mile, went 1 1/16. In a little allowance race at Belmont Park about 15 months ago, and the horse backed up in the stretch. Finished second, 6 1/4 lengths from the front. You got to watch out for these Ortiz brothers. Irad Ortiz and Jose Ortiz. They're dangerous, man. I tell you, these Ortiz guys are pretty good. But I'm going to have to take a pass on the 12. So that's your 12 horses that are going to be running in the Pegasus Cup. I'm going to go with the 5. Accelerate. This is a nice-looking horse. And Accelerate is running just as good as any horse in the world right now. Last year, 7 starts, 6 wins, a second, $5 million in earnings, including a win in the Breeders' Cup Classic. This horse looks sharp, man. This is a sharp-looking horse. Last time this horse was laid up for any period of time, they put him in the Pacific over there at Del Mar after winning the Gold Cup at Santa Anita. They laid this horse up for about 3 months. And, man, you talk about firing fresh. This horse won that race at 2-5 by 12.5 lengths. I like that. I like that. And this horse going to have about a 2.5-month layoff leading into the Pegasus Cup. Joel Rosario's been on this horse the last 3 times. This horse is going to be tough. 9-5 is the price. I like this. At 9-5, I think the price is right. MeatMan's always looking for a price, but horse racing, the key to horse racing, you pick the horse that you think is going to win the race. You don't worry about his odds. You don't worry about his price. You can't do anything about that. Try to pick the winner of the race. Accelerate's going to win this race. Accelerate is easily the best horse in the race. Got the nice winning streak. Just won the Breeders' Cup Classic. I like Accelerate. At 9-5 on a morning line, I think you put him across the board. Remember, we're trying to turn a profit. That's the whole idea with horse racing. You go to the window, you give them a certain amount of money. After the race, you go back to the window, you give them the ticket, and you want to get more money than you gave them. Normally, I wouldn't play a 9-5 shot across the board, but they got 12 horses in the race, and the pools are going to be astronomical. There's going to be a lot of money bet on this race. So, you never know what's going to happen. You know, when you got a race as big as this, all the pools are live. You know, there won't be any bridge jumpers out there. You're not going to have anybody betting $1 million a show on any horses like that. You're not going to get anything like that. Everything's going to be live in the pools on Saturday in the Pegasus Cup. I like the 5. I like Accelerate. 12:05 on Saturday. The 12th race at Gulfstream Park on Saturday, the Pegasus World Cup. 12 horses going to the post. It's the 12th race. I'm going with the 5. 12:05 Accelerate, and I'm going to bet Accelerate across the board, win, place, and show. If you normally bet $50 on a ball game, let's say a ball game's coming on TV, and you're a $50 gambler. You put $20 across the board on Accelerate, win, play, show. Let's say you bet $100 on a sporting event. The game's getting ready to come on the TV. You want to make a bet. You're a $100 bettor. You bet $30 across the board on Accelerate. Let's bet the 5 horse in the Pegasus World Cup on Saturday. Race 12, Gulfstream Park. Let's go with the 5. Accelerate. And we'll bet Accelerate across the board. Win, place, and show. All right, we're going to take a 1-minute commercial break. We're going to knock out a 1-minute commercial break. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if that's possible or not. We're going to knock out a 1-minute commercial break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up Sports Line Radio for this week. Don't touch that dial, Cap. You're listening to the MeatMan, coming out to you live on Sports Line Radio. Heard every Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time, right here on 910 AM WUBR CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. All right, that is your selection for the 2019 Pegasus World Cup. We're going to take the 5-horse Accelerate, and we're going to bet him across the board, win, place, and show. MeatMan's going to be doing a lot of horse racing videos in the next couple of months leading up to the Triple Crown. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the winner's circle, everybody.